Wonderful, wonderful. It's
We're live, Bond.
oh, we are. Yes,
Isn't this the coolest?
yes. Man,
You
this
look
is
so pretty.
you too. All nice, right?
Ah, hey, sunlight, sunlight.
Sure,
Shall I welcome everybody or do you want to welcome everybody?
I think we can do it together. It works.
Okay, okay. Well, hello everybody. I am Suzette Vearnon and welcome to Statistics Be Darned Google Hangout with Suzette and
Alicia Randolph, Vaughn.
thank you
Yeah,
for taking your lunch break with us as we talk about what's on our minds, dating and relationships.
definitely.
Comments are welcome as we are live streaming on YouTube and Google+. Use hashtag statistics be darned or hashtag married. Okay. Also, there will be, I think I can figure out how to finagle this thing so that you can ask some questions. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to get to them, but if we have a little time at the end, maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that. Without further ado,
Yes. Now, hopefully the ladies have already had a chance to get some lunch and the physical food because we get ready to chew on some this great preview of good soulful love food. Okay. So I have visited your pages. I have looked at the video. It's fantastic. I love your pictures and this energy that you have. It's almost like you're now throwing caution to the wind, and that's what we're going to be doing in this program.
we are going to throw caution to the wind. We're going to talk about the things that are on our minds as ladies over 40, ladies who the statistics have ruled out from finding love, or for those of you that want to get married, getting married. And we're just going to talk about that and bust that a little bit. I want to tell people a little bit about you, though, Miss Vaughn.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Vaughn isn't just my sister, my biological sister, but she is my BFF, my
Mm,
best friend forever, my ride or die. She's my safe place. And most of all, she's my vision keeper. She is the founder and CEO of Randolph Consulting, the managing parent company of three creative centered companies that offer innovative solutions through evolutionary coaching, training, illustrations, and music. The girl is fly, smart, and running her own business. So, why in the ham sandwich is this girl single?
see, that's why we're here, because it's like, what is happening? What is going wrong? What? Please tell me. You know, you're focused on doing things that make a difference in the community, but you want somebody to share that with. So I'm sure everyone who's listening and joining us wants to know the same thing. How in the world do we do it?
Oh
So
my goodness.
you
Well,
say statistics.
I'm gonna let you ask some more questions because I know that's such a open-ended question, but I
Yeah,
know you've got some others to ask.
sure. So you state statistics be darned, okay?
Yes.
And the statistics, yeah, for can be daunting, especially here in ATL. Yeah, we got some statistics, all right. So, is your experience speaking as one definitely over 40? Can it happen for us, or are you an anomaly?
Well, you know what? There was a time that I thought I was an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought. Let me change that. There was a time I would have thought that I was an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look back at my love journey, I realized I worked hard to get here.
Okay.
I worked hard to get here. Any of us who are seeking to be the best of ourselves and seeking to self actualize, seeking to, like you say, make the world a better place, and it's coming from a pure place inside.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us who are doing that, we're already on a journey to becoming our best selves. And even though statistics have put us all in one big, lump, you know, uh, I realized that I had to I had to find out what was going wrong in my dating relationships. Just the kind of cliff note version of things.
Okay.
If you want to see somebody who really is the poster child for statistics, it would be me. I've been married twice, divorced twice, single parent to a son, uh, grew up in a very rigid, albeit Christian home where our parents did the best they could, but still, like I was saying to someone, uh, everything was a sin, everything. So
Everything.
I began to wonder if it was okay to breathe because everything was a sin. And then also because dad had some struggles, I was an adult child of an alcoholic. So when you have all those types of things that you have to overcome, it can affect your relationships. It really does affect your relationships unless you do some self work and find out who you are out of all the surroundings and environment that you've been in, finding
Mhm.
out who you really are. And so when I say I did work and I'm not an anomaly, was I read a lot of relationship books. Well, no, first of all, wait, first,
Okay.
I told myself the truth. As
Okay.
accomplished as I looked, as together as I looked
Hmm.
on the outside, I was toe up on the inside. I was afraid of men because I didn't trust myself to know how to recognize a good man.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I kept trying to get it right, going to the next man. After a while, the light bulb came on and said, "Look, sister girl, something wrong with you. You're the one that's attracting this energy into your life." And like
Wow.
I've said before, I was a magnet for unavailable men, a
Mm.
magnet, moth to a flame. And so I had to work through that. Like I said, relationship books. I went to a relationship coach.
Okay.
Uh, my go-to, God rest his soul, um, Lawrence Mumford, my cousin. He was
Yeah.
my go-to guy for all things male. So when I say I became a student and I let life teach me something different. Because what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the different results. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you had several different tools that you engaged in this transformational journey. So when we take your program, will we have some diverse tools we'll be asked to engage in?
Oh, sure. I most definitely there. My workshops and my programs. I am infusing those with not just a lot of thinking
Hmm.
because we women we relish information
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we can read it and we can talk about it. But let's for the woman over 40, we've been
Mhm.
reading and talking about it for long enough.
Quite a while. Yeah.
And so, unless we get in the game and
Hmm.
off the sidelines, because love is a contact sport. So, unless we come off the sidelines and get in the game, we're never going to know if we've learned anything from the relationship books, if we've
Wow.
learned anything from coaching. And so, my workshops, as a matter of fact, I'm planning one that's going to start in just a few days called the Enough Virtual Workshop.
Yeah.
And it's designed to um, get people act in I can't talk right, getting some action, or as Dr. Phil says, putting some verbs in your sentences.
Okay. Okay.
Getting us in the game, because I think a lot of us are not in the game because every time we've tried we've gotten burnt,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
we've fallen down and got dirt in our faces,
Hmm.
and we got tackled too hard and it knocked our helmets off. And of course I'm using a football metaphor,
I
like I
love.
know a lot about football.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, and so we want love, but we're afraid. We're afraid of risking our hearts. And I would be afraid too
Yeah.
if I didn't have more information.
Hmm.
Because a good coach is going to, if I'll use the sports metaphor again, a good coach is going to make you aware of your strengths.
Yes.
They're going to teach you about the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to learn what's your best position.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And because the whole point of coaching is to position you to win, not just to play your heart out and keep getting beat up.
Wow. Okay.
So I've
Yeah.
tried to infuse my programs and those that I'm developing that are in the pipeline to give us not just information, we got information, but to give us the confidence we need to get back out there, to date with confidence,
Hmm. Definitely.
to not be afraid of men.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Now,
a lot of us are intimidated, you
yeah,
know?
most definitely. Let's go back to that contact though. If we had tweets going on, that would be a tweetable moment. I had to do my.
Okay, those out there, you can tweet if you want to.
Oh, okay. A contact sport. I never thought of it that way. Wow. And so, how are you going to ever learn how to maneuver and make the plays if you don't get into the game and sometimes get that hit? Wow.
And yeah, and the thing about it is if you understand the game,
Hmm.
you remember when we were kids, Vaughn, and we were playing like don't start laughing. We were kids once, y'all.
Yes.
When we play
Yeah.
when we played like dodgeball and softball,
Yes.
and all those kind of things, and you had to run those bases. A lot of times we would get hurt. We would get
Yeah.
scuffed knees, you know.
Or I
We
could
would collide.
up to the base. You could. Be
Say
out,
that again.
out by the time I tried. So, oh man. So you'll help us even though we might not be good sprinters? Because
Oh,
people catch it quick.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I think in all fairness, and I'm not trying to marginalize the woman over 40, not at all.
Okay.
But let's face it, if we've ever had our hearts broken, if we've ever been in a relationship, if we've ever uh, had a bad or disappointment, a bad relationship or a disappointing relationship,
Yeah.
and we've had a number of those through the years,
Mm-hmm.
we might think because we're still functional or that it doesn't hurt like
Mm-hmm.
it did before,
Yeah.
that we're okay, but you can always tell.
Yeah.
Even we smart, accomplished, you know, make it do what it do women. Yeah, yeah, make it do what it do. You can always tell how whole you are when you get in a relationship, a close relationship with a man.
Yeah.
That always reveals it. And I'll go as far as saying for those of us who are skittish about dating,
Yeah.
if 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 you're skittish about dating, something had to have happened in the past.
Definitely.
Whatever our fears are, whatever our uh, hesitancies are, something had to happen in the past that rattles its chain like a ghost when we get closer and closer in relationships because we're becoming more intimate and more vulnerable the more we like this guy,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And for some of us too, I mean, some of us, and I was one of them. I'm going to tell y'all, I was one of them. The more I liked the guy,
Yeah.
the more crazy and anxious I was. I tried to act like I was cool and calm, but my insides were breakdancing.
Mm.
If if his, if I gave him my number and he said he was going to call, if I gave him my number and he said he was going to call, I'd be sitting and looking
Yeah.
at my cell phone. Then I'd put it down, walk away, do something else. Then I'm like, oh God, I left my cell phone upstairs. Oh my God, what if he tried to call me and I wasn't there? You run and get your cell phone. Oh God, he didn't call. Then after a while, you think to yourself, okay, he didn't call. Maybe he tried to call. Okay, let me think of a way that I can call him without him thinking that I'm waiting around the phone for him to call. What can I say? What can I do? And we start kind of playing these games with ourselves. And the root of it comes from insecurity. We're not confident because a confident woman does not wait by the phone for a man to call her. She doesn't. She she
Okay.
doesn't
All
she
right.
doesn't put all her attractiveness and all her value. She doesn't give him all that. You know?
Okay. So you're saying maybe we should, in our program, we'll learn how to broaden that.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
what we're
Oh
looking forward to?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're going to get really into it. We're going to one of the things on week 1, we're going to write our love vision. And I'm sure some of our love
Okay.
visions are going to include how tall he is, you know, whether he has a job or not, and all those kind of things. Okay. But
Okay.
then
Okay.
I'm going to go deeper because our love vision, I believe, should be more about how we
Okay.
want to feel in the relationship. Because the truth of the matter is, you can get Denzel Washington, Boris Cujo,
All on the face.
Shamar Moore,
Oh dear.
Terrence Howard. You
Mm.
can you can get any of these good looking like they're successful kind of men. But if if they don't make you feel respected, if they don't make you feel valuable,
Okay.
if they don't make you feel like they're the ones who are the lucky one to have you in their life, then it doesn't do any good to have a trophy. And I think for a lot of us women of a certain age,
Mm-hmm.
we have objectified men so much based on what the other man didn't do, or if you happen to have a great relationship, what the other man did. And
Hmm.
we can't even get to know him in his own right, with his own special gifts, his own talents, because we're so busy going like a little computer the whole time. And so I found out, and it's one of the things I had to admit when I did my in my audio, how I changed the way I dated
Uh-huh.
and got the man. I had to realize that the very thing I complained about the man being, I had become.
Ah, reflection. Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't want to be objectified, right?
Okay.
But if I judged him based on whether he pulled a chair out for me or not, if I judged him by what he drove,
Hmm.
if I judged him by all these external things and discounted the truth of character that was as plain as the nose on my face had I been clear
Gotcha.
enough to see it, you know. And then, we do that. I started realizing that I was objectifying men and I was becoming an opportunist
Man,
because
you know
I
what?
looked at every man based on what he could do for me that the
Me.
other one did not do.
Okay, you know you're messing up our list, right? Okay. The list is,
I'm messing up the list, Vaughn.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're messing up the list. Okay. We're gonna have to redo the list. Okay.
Your love vision board, baby. That's gonna be your new list.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So the women over 40, definitely,
Okay.
because it's changed. Dating has changed,
Yes.
and so it's more options, technological, and it can be scary.
Yeah.
So do we get to deal with some of those issues in the course?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
In our first sessions, we're going to deal with first who we are,
Okay. Okay.
First, getting clear about that because who we really are is not these paranoid, schizophrenic, anxiety-ridden women that come to the table when we
Come
go to a
out.
date.
Come out. Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are simply our insecurities, and many of us never show up. We send our critic, we send our overanalyzer, we send our representative on this date, and the guy never finds out who we are.
But that's
And so I
scary
say
because
what they
that's scary because when you give yourself, then it's almost like I'm vulnerable. If I show who I am, then uh, I can be taken advantage
well, here's the point of clarification.
of. Okay.
Showing who you are does not mean vulnerable in a weakened sense.
Okay.
Showing who you are is the you are when you're the happiest,
Ah, oh boy, that's the symbol for tweet. Okay, okay. Who you are?
right? It's the you that your girlfriends get to see.
Okay.
It's the you that your kids get to see. And many times the guy never sees it. He never gets to see you when you're not intimidated by what he says, what he does. He doesn't get to see you with your instead of you letting your critic come. He doesn't get to see you with the critic left at home,
Hmm.
with the overanalyzer left at home, with the what mama said about men left at home,
Yes, because he said
with
a lot.
what
Yeah.
my ex-husband did to me left at home,
Hmm.
and get to see the vivacious and energetic and sexy and creative and fun loving and we are the world, I love everybody woman. They don't get to see your sense of humor.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
don't get to see the confident you,
Wow.
that self-assured you, that wow, that courageously feminine you in your power. They don't get to see that.
No,
And,
because we're too scared. Yeah.
and so when I say show up as you, it's showing up as you without the baggage.
Gotcha. No strings. No.
Right, no strings. Because really all those things are accessories that
Mm.
we have put on.
Ah.
We are somewhere underneath all that stuff.
Ah. Oh, that's good. Okay.
And so part of what I do, what I'm doing in my first session with the workshop participants is getting pulling that stuff off so we can see who the real you is because how do you know what your love vision board is supposed to look like if you don't know who you really are underneath all of that,
Gotcha.
if you haven't gotten clear about that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that in week 1, and then in other sessions we're going to deal with understanding men.
Okay.
Uh, because one thing I've read many times, but even before I read it, I had come to this conclusion.
What's that?
Most of us, our complaints about men is because men don't act like women. They don't see things like women see them. They don't do things like women do them.
No.
They don't go about their lives like women do. And when we complain to our girlfriends about what he did not do, 9 times out of 10, we expected him to be like us.
Like another sister. Oh.
Oh no, now we want him to come wrapped in all that wonderful stuff we like about men, the muscles and
Yeah.
the swagger and
Okay.
that masculine energy. We want him to come wrapped in it,
Definitely. Yes.
but we want him to act like and respond to as if he was a woman.
Okay.
And we ain't gonna never get that, Vaughn.
Okay. Okay.
And so one of the things that we're gonna deal with in the sessions too is finding out about men. You know, I'm gonna share the insights I've gained, which
Okay.
y'all I didn't come on that, on my own. I didn't talk to my girlfriends, talk to my mama. but I read books by men about men,
Hmm. Okay.
went and had relationship coaching by someone who was an expert in dealing with marriage and family and relationship issues.
Okay.
And then, of course, there was my go to.
Yes.
One of the greatest lessons I learned is if you want to know something about men, don't ask your girlfriends. Don't ask them because they are going to feminize it and have you wishing and hoping and staying with somebody that another man will look at and say, you need to leave him alone.
Gotcha. Just straight up.
Straight
Because
up.
we always trying to potentialize and but give them, yeah, just see things through rose-colored glasses. But most men are just straight up.
Yeah.
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 So in
We
so
had,
in those
oh, go
sections,
ahead.
we're gonna see that. Now, what else do we have to anticipate in this program?
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. We're going to, let's see, I wish I had had my little session sheet up here with it, but we're going to actually, one of the things that I'm excited about is at the end of each session, because the sessions are going to run every Saturday
Right.
from 9 until 12 noon. So
Right.
at the end of every session, each participant has an action calendar.
Okay.
From
Making
the
it
time
tangible. Okay.
the
All right.
workshop is over,
Okay.
every day they have to do something actionable to further work out or reinforce what they've learned in the workshop.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big. It has to be something that she would really do. And many times it's baby steps. Like for some of us women, it's hard for us to get a compliment
Yes.
without saying, "Oh, girl, I've had this dress for 5 years."
Yeah. Mhm. Minimize it.
Minimize it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so maybe one of the action steps might be when somebody gives me a compliment, I'm going to receive it and say thank you.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know,
Yes.
An- another action plan might be because it, it's amazing how many of us women pass by men every day
Yes.
and don't even look at them.
Because we've been taught not to be forward. Some of us have been taught not to be forward and looking them in the eye as if we want something from them.
Well, now I would agree. I wouldn't want you to be forward and do that little shoulder thing you just did. I would not want you to do that. I would not recommend that, especially if he's walking with another woman. Nah, not good, not good.
Not gonna happen. Okay.
But simply acknowledging that he exists is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because many times we pass by, and it doesn't matter, whether he's our cup of tea or whether he's not. To acknowledge that he's a man.
Hmm.
So, and the way we acknowledge is when we pass by, we look at him, smile, and keep going. And a lot of us don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
We don't know how. And the more cute we think he is, oh
Oh.
my God,
Oh.
we are not going to look him in the eye and smile and say hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that might be something that during the workshop would be part of the action plan. Okay, your action plan, because I believe your actions should be measurable, right?
Okay.
Which is quantitative and qualitative. So quantitative might be uh, leading up to in between this session, this Saturday and next Saturday. I am going to look at least three. I'm going to pass by, look at least 3 men in the eye, and just say hi and keep walking.
That's it. Okay. Okay.
And it does not matter. It's like the first 3 men you see that you come in contact with. Does not
Hmm.
matter what they look like. And now, what I would interject here is if they are walking with another woman, acknowledge her as well.
Yeah. It might be a fight if we don't. Got it. Okay.
Okay?
Got
So I think that goes a long way because I feel like the only way that we can really bridge this gap that has gotten wider and wider as we've gotten older and older and have continued to rehearse and regurgitate the pain
Mhm.
is that we don't see men as friends. We don't see them as welcomed. We don't see them as creations of God that when he looked at him he said, "This is good."
Mhm.
We don't look at him that way.
Some ways potential, what is he's the one. Especially when you
And
get past 40s, you're looking for the one, the one, the one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So,
but it's like having it's almost like walking around with a what you call those things that the old submarine movies used to have, the little sensor things. Beep,
oh, okay.
beep, beep, beep. You don't want to walk around because the thing about it, we try to be cool, but men pick up on that.
They
They
go.
pick up on it. They pick up on our body language. They pick up on whether we are open and willing and confident and really
Oh,
like men
yeah,
for men's sake, or whether we're sizing them up. Again, turning into opportunists. We don't want them to do that to us,
that's true.
but we do that to them all the time.
Yeah.
And I would dare say every man that has come into my life was a mirror. I just didn't want to look at it.
Mm, wow. So sounds like we'll be doing a little mirror work. Ah, oh, look at that.
Yes, I'm going to bring a big ass mirror. Oh, Lord, can I
I
say
ain't
that?
gonna
I'm
tell mama you
sorry,
said.
y'all.
I ain't
Lord, the
gonna
truth,
tell her you
girl.
said.
Don't tell mama.
I
Don't
ain't
tell
gonna tell
mama.
her you said.
Lord Jesus,
Now
don't
let me
tell
be
mama.
fair, because everyone's not in their 40s and on. There might be some younger 20s and 30s that think maybe I might want to check this out, because even though it looks like the
Yeah,
playing field is just vast, some women are
yeah.
still having challenges with that. So would it apply to them too?
Yeah, because my statistics be darned campaign.
Yes.
It's for any woman who has been disenfranchised
Okay.
by the media, by unsolicited propaganda, by statistics
No.
that say she's not this enough, she's not that enough,
Okay.
she's the wrong color,
Hmm.
she's the wrong age. Um, the statistics that really blew me away, and I had heard some variation of it in
Okay.
movies, and some talk show people would bring up this statistic, and I found the actual statistic. Um, Newsweek did an article where it was quoted: women over 40 are more likely to be killed by a terrorist than to get married.
Oh wow.
And then later on, I say I've got that statistic. I'm gonna pull it up right here.
Okay.
I've got that statistic because even though they did a retraction, still here it is. Still, the Bureau of Labor, is it Bureau?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
being Kinston? The Bureau of
Okay.
Labor Statistics, October 2013, in their monthly labor review,
Uh huh.
they said they confirmed that the probability of college educated women marrying at age 30 was 60% and 23% at age 40.
Ooh, that's a big drop. Hmm.
And so that's part of the reason for this campaign, because some people might wonder, will Suzette, you're married. So what in the world can you tell someone that's single?
Sure.
Well, I've only been married for 5 months. So and I'm 55.
Gotcha.
So, and I've dated my husband, my sweetheart, Robert. I love you if you're listening, baby. My sweetheart, I met him just 4 years ago. So
Wow.
if you say 55 minus 4, you're talking about 51 years of getting it more wrong than getting it right. and having to learn how to fall forward instead of fall backward. So that's why I feel like, and because it happened for me, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just a fluke,
Okay.
I did specific things that opened my heart up
You
and
captured.
allowed me to send a different energy out into the world. And it brought me, Vaughn, you know Robert.
Yeah.
He is beyond what I could have ever dreamed for myself.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
one of the most giving, loving, sincere hearted guys I have ever met. And every single day of my life,
Mm.
I feel hilariously loved by him.
Wow.
Every day, every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
I couldn't even conceive that. I couldn't even conceive that. But that doing the work, it helped me first to recognize him,
mm-hmm.
because one of the problems was I didn't know how to recognize a good man. I
Ah.
didn't know how. So doing the work helped me to get clear about what I needed in a partner, how to recognize it, and allow men time to teach me who they were before I gave them something I could not get back.
Ah. Okay. So it sounds like we're not only going to talk about emotional giving, but physical giving too. Might as well.
Yeah. Being an open, how to present an open space without feeling vulnerable, like he's going to attack you or take something from you.
Farming. Yeah. 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 Just position you in a whole different place.
It does. And when you get in that place,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like overanalyzing falls away. Stuff like sizing him up to see if he might be the one falls away. Because what you're experiencing in the moment is so wonderful. I have a little short confession to make.
Okay. Make it quick.
When I was dating Robert, my friend Jackie, uh, I was living with Jackie because my home was being prepared, built. Well, it was already built, but I was waiting for the closing and everything. And so I lived with my friend Jackie for a while. And so she was very privy, up close and personal, uh, with what was happening with Robert and I. And so I remember saying to her, Jackie, I don't want to put him in the friend zone,
The
you
friend.
know. But I had never been with somebody that I enjoyed that much that wasn't a friend,
Ah. Okay.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, if he doesn't make a move soon, I might put him in the friend zone, you know? But then it's like she'll tell you my story changed because the more time I spent with him, I said, you know what, Jackie? I said, whether this becomes something romantic or it doesn't, it was worth it just to get to know this man. I'll
Wow.
be okay because it was worth it just to get to know this man. And then, of course, he kissed me, and then that settled that.
No. Friend zone.
He kissed me. I was like, oh, oh. I came back and I was like, girl, we ain't got to worry about friend zone. We ain't got to worry about friend
We
zone.
good.
We good. We good.
Man. Sounds like we're going to be on a journey. Now, how long is the program? There enough workshops that you have coming up?
Well, the one in June is filled actually, but I am pre-registering for the one in the fall in October. It's going to be 4 Saturdays from 9 to 12, and it's going to be virtual. So I've tried to make it so it's really amenable to the busy woman
Okay.
because most women over 40 are wearing a lot of hats and doing a lot of things. They're on their grind. And so I didn't want, once you finally get home, take off your shoes and snap your bra. You don't want to have to get You don't want to have to like, oh shoot, I got to go out to this. So I wanted to make it so that you could, put your feet up and still be able to participate and get what you need. So I wanted to make it very, very comfortable for
Thank
for the women, for women.
you. So
So
in the June class, what if they feel like, okay, this was great. I feel like I'm on my way. I want some additionals. This is working. I'm seeing some traction here. What do those people do?
well, I am like I said, I've got some different programs and so forth in the pipeline.
Okay,
And I don't want to reveal right now what you already know that I'm working on.
but we
But
have options.
yes, and because what I've done is I've tried to look at my dating journey
Okay,
and at each ascension, each self-actualization, at each aha, each okay, I got this level. What's the next level? I've tried to develop my programs with that in mind, where I
one.
start here, then when I get here, then when I get here, that there's something for every stage. And so I'm in the process of working on that next step for the women that complete the workshop. I'm not going to tell it, but y'all are not ready
All right, all
for
right,
what awaits the women that attend the workshop. Now, the only thing about it is, however,
all
that
right.
you have to attend the first workshop before you can have access to this second thing.
Okay, so all of us that have signed up, we're gonna see some wonderful things happen. And for those who haven't had the chance to, they'll have a chance to go ahead and sign up for an upcoming course in the fall. And is there um, anything that you would give them as advice in that interim phase
Oh wow! In the interim place, what between now and
when they have a chance to really join your course? One coming up.
well, one of the things that's out there now that's free,
Okay,
and I had mentioned it earlier, is my free audio.
right.
How I changed the way I dated and got the man. I think listening to that is a
Mhm.
good place to start. And then for those that want to, like I said, put some verbs behind their sentences,
Yeah,
put some action, into becoming a dateable and relatable woman,
yes.
uh, then the next step would be the workshop. And because this campaign just started, I'm kind of in the building phase, but
Sure.
you can trust and believe that quite a few things are happening. As a matter of fact, I put something up here so I would not forget it
Okay.
because I'm 55, every bit. I don't feel like it except for sometimes I do. Like today, you got to have your cue cards, right? Um, one of the things that I am doing, which also addresses this, Savon, stop laughing at your sister. One of the things that I'm doing too that you don't know about, Vaughn,
Okay, well, tell me.
is I started a meetup group. So if
Wow.
people go to www.meetup.com, I've started a meetup and it's called the Statistics Be Darned Dating and Relationship Meetup.
Oh, how cool.
And our first meet and greet is scheduled for June 11th. Uh, that's I'm sorry, not June 11th. I'm sorry. I should say July. Well, no, is it June? I have to go back and look at my notes. It's either June or July, one or the other, and I'll get clear about it.
Okay.
But we're planning a meet and greet. It's going to be from 1 to 3. It's going to be at Fifth Avenue Coffee Cafe. That's in Garner.
Okay. I haven't been there, haven't.
No, you haven't been there. And I'm thinking it's got to be July because in June we'll be doing the virtual workshop. So yeah, it's July. It's the second Saturday in July from 1 to 3 at Fifth Avenue Coffee Cafe in Garner, North Carolina, right off of Vandover Springs Road. For those of you who live in the local area, but it's for the women who are tired of the statistics, tired of being bombarded by statistics. Because even whether you believe it or you don't believe it,
Mhm.
If you keep association brings assimilation. And if
Mm.
you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, there's a shortage of men. All the good
Yeah.
men are either married, gay, or in jail. If you keep hearing, oh God, there are 10 men to every one woman, if you keep hearing that stuff, after a while, it's going to cause you to become more anxious. It's going to cause you to cheapen yourselves and go after men that are not yours.
Mm.
It's going to cause you to settle for a piece of man,
A
saying that a
piece.
piece of man is better than no man at all. It's going
Oh,
to keep you in relationships that aren't really doing anything for you, but because you feel like there's a shortage,
the
you
lack.
want to keep the one you're with. So I am proof positive that statistics do not determine whether you find love or not. They don't determine it. And so I wanted to provide some kind to build a community of people who feel the way I feel or want to,
Yeah.
where they see themselves as more than enough to attract love into their lives because they really are.
More than
They
enough.
really are more than enough. So to have fun, to get to talk about the things that matter to us, to get to be in an empowered place instead of being around the same he done me wrong group of
Yeah.
girlfriends,
Yeah.
or to be the bad will ambassadors
Bad will.
for all men. You
Oh.
know,
Yeah.
all men are
Yeah.
bad will ambassadors.
Okay.
But to be around a group of ladies who feel empowered, who are building themselves up, who are becoming more confident, more self-assured in their relationships, and to hear the stories and the celebrations, to see different ones, because I truly believe that if we get clear about who we are, and part of that who we are
Mhm.
knows in the deep recesses of our soul that we're supposed to be a part of a couple,
Yeah.
then there's got to be a man out there that's waiting for you to show up. It's got to
Yeah.
be. It's
Yeah.
a law. It's one of the laws of nature, the laws of thermodynamics. It's the law of attraction, that's one of the things we're going to talk about at the workshop as well, is that the law of attraction does really work. It
Wonderful.
really does work.
Yeah. Well,
And it's not, I'm sorry, go ahead.
about 12:49, and I didn't know if you had any question and answer, folks.
Let's see. Let me open it up because I don't think it's open.
Okay. No
And
problem.
I don't have, let's see, opening Q&A. Let's see. Or either people, okay, this speaker is disabled. Okay. Uh, I don't have any. Let me check my other page and see if maybe somebody has questions. If you do, we've got a little bit more time, and we can answer them. Or better yet, because I'm still learning how to work this Google Hangout thing, uh, if you have any questions or any comments or had any ahas, from watching this Hangout, then I encourage you to uh, put them on the YouTube page, put them
Yeah.
on the Google Plus page. You can find me on Facebook, Suzette R. Hinton. That's my author page. I'm welcoming all likes and all comments.
Yes, please. Right.
If you want to be my friend, you can come to the Suzette
Is
R.
that-
Vearnon
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Okay.
I'm on Twitter as at purposeful underscore you. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Now, one more question that comes to my mind is, women want to make sure they have a safe place. Sometimes we don't like to put all our stuff out in front of people. So, will this program be a safe place? And
definitely.
if we're kind of doing our thing, because we can kind of sit back and let everybody else go for it. So, how is
Yeah.
that kind of person going to get to the
Well,
front
first
door?
of all, this workshop, there will be no wallflowers
None
in
of
this
those
workshop. No, because by virtue of the word workshop,
work. Yeah. Got it.
it's not a seminar,
Okay.
it's not a conference. It is for women who really want to work on themselves and become their best selves so that they
Yes.
can attract love into their lives. In
And
whatever way that that shows up for them,
okay,
they can
okay,
attract it. So that's why I'm keeping the groups intimate.
okay.
No group will be over 12 people. Uh, the ideal is six. The ideal is six women at a time, because and even those who are participating in June have received a workshop packet where I've given very detailed um, description, a very detailed uh, understanding of what it means to keep the place safe. No male bashing. This is not going to be girlfriends getting ready to come together to gossip. We're going to hold men in 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 the light that they deserve to be withheld, withheld, in the light that they deserve to be held in.
Okay.
We will be honest about our experiences without judging, without uh, picking it apart, without analyzing, explaining. Um, you know, um, we're going to do that. And it's part of my responsibility as the facilitator to keep it safe. One of the things, especially because we're attracting a lot of women who are coaches themselves, professional women, we have
Yeah.
a tendency to take a third person.
Yes.
We get into idealizing and becoming philosophical and
Yes.
conceptual. Well, I think, no, we're going to get real. We're going to talk about ourselves. I'm hearing a little bit of a feedback. Are you hearing it?
I heard just a twinge of mechanicalness, but
Yeah.
sometimes if it's, the bikes are trying to
Oh,
align.
okay.
Might
Okay.
So
I just
we
want to make
can't
sure
send our
that
representatives. We can't send our
exactly.
representatives to this. Okay. Wow. Sounds like it's
Got to
gonna be
show up.
power packed. Oh my goodness. Man. Oh wow.
Well, you know that's how I do it, girl.
Well, of course. Of course. And so like are we is there I know in our packet you'll send us information. I've received mine already, so I know that. And we'll be able to be open and vulnerable to really make sure that we're the
You
right
know,
in the right place. Go ahead.
yeah, I don't expect you to come in immediately
Okay.
and just lay it all out. But I want to create a space that will allow you to do, to be able to share and and not be a bleeding heart per se, but to be able to heal that wound and move on,
Mm,
you know, because coaching deals with the here and now and where you want to go.
that's it. That's it.
And Vaughn, I'm
And
going to let you do the less talking because my headset is reverbing
oh,
and I
okay.
don't know why. And I know that becomes annoying. So you take us out, okay?
No problem. So, for those of you that had lunch with us, um, you had an opportunity to have some of the small bites of what is going to happen in this great forum. Um, and of course, we just appreciate Suzette, you realizing that your relationship and your whole journey and marriage to Robert was bigger than you. It was bigger than just a one event, two people, but it could be for a whole nation or community of women who have lost heart and are just frustrated, but don't want to be alone. They want to be with that right man. So whether we're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, going on up, there is hope for us. There's an opportunity and a forum for us to discover ourselves and really see the woman we are so that the man that we need to complement who we are can be found. So you've heard it here, you've heard it today. If you have questions, don't forget to contact those channels Suzette shared with us and join us. If you aren't in this session, get in the next session and watch the videos. Watch the videos like you are a student becoming a teacher. Watch them intensely because you'll find nuggets and start taking notes so you're ready for that first class so that we can be the women we are. We just don't bring that woman out for men to see and admire. So we'll check it out. We'll check you out there. And thank you for joining us for lunch. Take care.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.